everybody, and welcome to Roll Together RPG and to a brand new show that we're doing here on Patreon and YouTube. My name is Josh, I use he, him pronouns, and I will be your game master tonight. As you can see, I am joined by two very lovely people who I'm going to get to introduce themselves right now, starting with Tom.
Hello, my name is Tom, I use he, him pronouns. Do you want me to introduce my character, or...?
No, leave that for the minute, I reckon.
Leave it. I am playing a character. He has a headband. Prop work.
When are you not playing a character?
I got...
When are you just Tom?
In an immersive show
Who
I went
is
to
Tom?
where someone ended up, like, the whole point was then that one of the characters started playing me, and she was like, I think Tom is always playing a character, and I was like, oh no, oh you got me,
I feel so seen.
It is very funny watching people impersonate me because I move in bizarre ways, and then watching, she was about 5'2", also trying to be as gangly and weird as me, and I was like, solid acting, well done. Anyway, talking about solid acting, I throw over to my compatriot. See? A compliment this early in the game.
So nice. Thank
Yeah.
you. Hello. I am Nat. I use she, her pronouns. Apparently I'm a solid actor.
I say that's fair. Don't forget me when you win your prizes. Whatever prizes.
Pass the parcel.
Yeah, I dedicate this to Tom. And then you just hear a rumble of thunder, you're like, okay. Anyway, Josh.
This is a short session. We should not be allowed to be this rambly. So soon.
No, we shouldn't be. But yes, Anyway, welcome. Yes, as you can see from the overlay, this show is titled Myths and Mythios, and it is set in ancient Greece. Well, maybe not the ancient Greece that you know. We've put a little bit of a fantasy / a D&D twist on the general setting of ancient Greece, and that is where our story is going to take place. There are a few homebrew rules and things that we will be using, which we will explain as they come up, but I think for the moment we are going to dive into the session once we have thanked our sponsor Phoenix Dice. They have some lovely clickety-clack math rocks. Links are in the description below. Use code ROLLTOGETHER at checkout to get yourself some amazing dice, including those roll together ones that you can see on screen. And also a massive thank you to our D20 Club and Dice Heads on Patreon. They are fantastic. They are the best. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do this, what we're doing right now. Your patronage has helped us to make this content, so thank you very much for that. If you'd like to also join them, you can from as little as one of your local currency per month by following the links in the description below. And with that, we are going to dive straight in. Our story takes place in a dark place, a field of death and decay. If you were to close your eyes for the moment, that smell hits your nostrils really hard. And as you open your eyes, you can see that there are bodies littered all over the place. They are wearing the colours of Athens and the colours of Sparta. There has been a battle that has taken place here between those two armies. For those who do not know, this is going to be part of this story is going to be set during the Peloponnesian War. I think I said that right, but if I didn't, I'm terrible at pronunciations. And we come to our two characters who are basically climbing over the bodies at the moment. Lots of squelching as there's lots of unwet mud, wet from blood, wet from rain that has recently gone by, not 100% sure. But as we sort of do a bird's eye view and zoom in on, come round and zoom into the characters, let's start with Nat. Give us a description of your character, give us their name, and then what they're doing at the minute as they're walking through. What are they thinking?
Okay, that's a lot of questions. Okay, so we see scrambling over bodies, a young woman, 20-ish, long, sort of thick, dark brown hair, dark eyes, about 5'9", but willowy. So doesn't look particularly muscular, doesn't look built to be someone who is on a battlefield, but she is scrabbling and pulling, and it's an effort. She's wearing pieces of armor that don't look like they've been built for her. They look too big, not quite fitted right, a little bit scuffed and scratched. You can see little hints of a blue robe underneath, with a little bit of embroidery around the edges that suggests a slightly finer situation than you might find her in right now. This is Fig. She is carrying a spear on her back, which is, compared to everything else, well looked after. And then I think as she's trawling around, she sort of manages to find, great, yeah, this'll do, and sort of carefully, respectfully removes the arm of a soldier from a shield that doesn't look like it's been battered at all. It looks like this man died before he had a chance to defend himself. Gives it a bit of a dust off, tries not to think too much about what that stain is, and grabs it. I think this will work. And then just starts sort of scrabbling on and looking around.
Watching her having scrambled over a pile of bodies as we pan across, her companion, similarly built. He's about 6 foot, has a nasty habit of like sort of scrunching down to try and make himself seem less obvious. Also quite dark hair, is wearing a red headband, which is always smart to do when especially you're in Athenian territory, to be wearing the colours of the enemy, which seems to be a recurring thing for Tom characters in the series, inadvertently wear the enemy's colours. He also has sort of dark, wild hair. He's wearing it's more of a sort of tunic, isn't wearing armour like his friend, also quite piecemeal, wearing braces sort of over his wrists, and you can kind of see running from where the brazier is to the arm, there's like black, it's ink. He's tattooed, because it turns out the Greeks thought that was weird. He's Thracian, who are a warrior people, but he is a musician, as we can see as we pan down. Hanging by his side is a lyre, which is, I think this one is 5-stringed instrument with a tortoise shell holding it, and he's wearing sandals. He's wearing open-toed sandals. You shouldn't go to a battle.
Everyone's wearing open-toed sandals.
It's somebody. I think Ellie or Elpino. He is keeping his eye out for boots. It would be lovely to have a pair of boots, so you don't have to keep scrambling. But he hasn't had that luck, and is following his friend Fig across the battlefield.
If you want boots, I can be looking for boots as well as a shield. I didn't ask Josh whether I could have it. I claimed it.
You might as well.
I mean, it's in your inventory already. If you happen to pick it up off the body, that's fine. That's all right.
Can I be looking for boots for Ellie?
Yeah, you can look for some boots. It's not unheard of for the more higher ups within any of the Greek armies to actually wear boots rather than sandals and braces. A lot of the grunts would wear sandals and braces, similar to what the pair of you are wearing now, but you can find a sergeant or who would be dressed as a sergeant, or what would they be called? Josh's brain just went blank on what a sergeant would be called. It wouldn't be a praetor because that is Roman.
We'd also like to point out, we're all speaking ancient Greek in this, so this is being put through a translator, so while it's sergeant... Assassin's Creed rules, everything's translated until it's very much not. So.
True, yeah. Yeah, so a sergeant. You doesn't take you too long to find one. There's lots of them around as well. You can get a pair of boots for Ellie if you'd like to. The shield that you picked up was picked up off of a body of a person who wasn't able to raise their shield quick enough before they got an arrow in the eye. These boots that you find are attached to legs, but nothing else.
I found some.
Good.
Good news is, though, that you probably there's no need to feel guilty about taking these off a corpse, because there's not really a corpse.
Oh, right. So sort of scramble up and look. Thank you for your gift. It shall be well received. Trying to you hand it to me. I'm like,
I want to hold a calf and the other
yeah.
one.
Yeah, and you sort of pull. You get a little bit of leg juice down the front of your armor.
I'm also scavenging bodies for like water skins to try and like.
Yeah. You find a couple of water skins that you can use to clean off some of the gore that you are currently dipped in. Now, some of you in the audience who are watching right now might be asking, why are these two people trudging through a battlefield?
Have to be somewhere.
I mean, they just happened to stumble across it and thought it'd be fun. No. They have been sent here on a particular mission. They come from a town called Erithos, which is a small fishing village. It is near the city of Corthus. Small little fishing village, sort of in a little dock, what they called a bay area. The leader of that town, a man named Sponder, has taken this opportunity. It sounds a bit morbid when I say take this opportunity, because this is people's lives, but being as this battle took place quite near to the town, about 3 days travel away from the town itself, he's taken it upon himself to send you out here to gather as many weapons as you can, as well as an amulet from one of the generals. His hope is that he can sell these on by sending them to Athens to be sold and make some money off of that for himself, because he's very greedy, not a very nice man. So
but
that's the... Sorry?
So he pays.
He pays, yes.
We're not doing nice here.
He doesn't pay you what he should.
No.
But he pays you. Is probably, you're still getting something out of it.
Yes. It's also worth pointing out, as the audience may work out, there's a war going on and there are two healthy young people here trying to... He gives us money and we occasionally get food. We do what we can to survive.
Yeah. Why the two of you are not fighting in the war is a mystery.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry
about it. Don't think about it.
Don't worry about it.
But yes, you are moving around. Could both of you make me either a perception or investigation check, please, as you are looking over the bodies, looking for weapons, looking for things that you can replace your own stuff with if you want to.
19.
Ooh, 19. Is that perception or investigation?
Oh, if it's an investigation, it's non-nat 20.
Different investigation then.
Perception 21.
Nice. So, with the perception, Ellie, you are more focused on scanning the area, looking for banners or people that might be considered higher ranking members of either of the two militaries. So you're scanning around and you spot on the top of a ridge, there is a flag sticking out of the ground, which has got the Athenian flag on it. And that's the sort of flag that you would have hovering over where the leader or general of the army is. So you spot that, and you can spot leading up to the ridge, there is a large pile of bodies leading up to it, and bodies that are all over the ridge as well. For the investigation check, you, Fig, are more focused on what's going on around you, where you're stepping, looking for any weapons that aren't damaged that you can salvage, bits of armor, similar to the shield that you've just found. And you do spot a couple of things that you can grab, a couple of short swords here. There's a spear that you can grab. There is a broken spear that you find, but the blade part of it is in perfect condition, so you take that as like a spare that you can sell on. A couple of daggers and things, and a couple of little sets of armor and all of that sort of stuff. So you can add into your inventory that you have a stack of military gear.
And how
are we transporting?
Thing's not strong per se, so I guess it's how many of these do we think she could reasonably actually carry and still be maneuverable?
Yeah. I would also say as well that you've been focusing more on Athenian stuff rather than Spartan gear because of where it's being sent to be sold. In terms of how much you're able to carry, you've been given as part of this mission, both of you have been given almost like a large, sort of really thick materialed bag that when you put all the things in and you can wrap it up like almost like a duffel bag, but you can sling that over your shoulder, and that allows you to carry more than what you would normally naturally be able to carry. Still quite heavy, but
can it be strapped to us so hands are free?
Yeah, strapped to you. So it's sort of like a single shoulder strap, and then it sort of connects round as well from the other side. So it's double connected, really solid fitting, won't fall off, won't slide anywhere, and all that sort of stuff. But you can, both of you have got that, and while you're picking the stuff up, you can sort of fill both of your bags up, and both of you are able to carry 2 spears, 2 short swords, and 4 daggers each before it starts to get a bit over encumbered, as it were.
Are you taking the shield for yourself then? Is that the plan? Or...
Yes.
But, you know.
I mean, this is the biggest piece of metal, though, out of the lot, so I don't know whether I'll get to keep it. But
I'm sure we could go and bury it somewhere.
We can hide it.
Yeah.
I'm sure when we go and do the drop.
Look, you need a shield, I need boots. You know, who's going to notice that, you know, we scavenged? I'm no snitch.
And who's to say you didn't have the shield on you to start off with?
Exactly.
Right?
No one pays attention to us. We are forgotten.
Yeah, you could always spend some time scraping the marking off of it. Ignore the fact that it looks like a Spartan shield, but...
Yep, that's fine. That's totally fine.
Also, with the investigation check, there is something that does stick out to you in particular. And that is on the body of one of the Spartan soldiers. There looks to be a bracelet that he has, or they have on their wrist. You can't tell what gender they are because they're, other than their arm, their body is completely mangled. So, looks like something big hit them. Big and heavy hit them. Might explain why that other person was missing the rest of their body and they just had their legs there. Something big probably went through this fight.
Elpinor, can you see any signs of, like, big weapons or animal tracks or anything like that?
I'll have a look. Sort of looks obviously for like a boulder and is like, no. Yeah. Well, set investigation.
You don't need to roll. Don't worry about rolling because we'll use your previous result as you're looking around and you're looking to see what figures asked you for. You glance down and this battlefield itself sort of descends down to a beach. And you can see that there are Spartan ships on that beach. They've docked here and they've tried making an advance into this territory and have seemingly failed in doing so. But what you can see is there are, on some of the ships, it takes you a minute to squint to actually get the vision, but you can see large cages on those ships. And one of the ships has got the symbol of a griffin on it. Spartans employed griffins in this history.
It might be a griffin, possibly.
Oh, good.
Which does mean there's a wild griffin around. Maybe we need to...
We should let the town know.
Yes. Also, there on the hill, a banner, a Fenian, might find what we're looking for.
Oh, right. Yeah. Josh,
Yes.
is the banner just a general Athenian banner, or does it have like the word has just gone from my head, like a detachment? Is there a flag for that
Sigil,
specific group, platoon?
So it's got the Greek numbers for third company. So it's like a third company of the Athenian regiment sort of thing.
And that's, I want to just double check. This is fine.
This is fine. Yeah, this is
Okay.
this is one of the sort of lesser known, not lesser known regiments. It's one of those. It's the sort of regiment that's sent out into the lesser populated areas, like where you currently are, and are sent to basically patrol and make sure that the Spartans aren't invading from places that they hadn't thought that they might do tactically, sort of thing. So
there's a brief moment where Fig looks up at the banner and sort of looks slightly relieved, and then is back to horror, war is horror.
Again,
Everything is awful.
I'm too busy looking at the sea and just being like, the
Looking
sea.
at the sea again, Tom, are you? Leave the sea alone.
I will not. This character is not into the sea.
So is
Put that
sea
on
or
Wiki.
goats with you?
We haven't met any goats yet.
that's the one thing you can be sure of with Tom: puppetry, the sea, and goats.
Occasionally the goats get into the sea, and that's a real poverty moment. It gets terrible.
While you're watching them,
Yeah.
How do you feel about Capricorns?
Ooh.
Anyway.
Anyway.
you, yes, you know that the general was likely up on the ridge, quite close to where that banner is. I will say that with the investigation check that you rolled, Fig, that there is something that is slightly off with this entire battlefield.
Yeah.
Other than
in
the
general, yeah.
Yeah, in general, yes, but there's something even more off with it than usual. Normally, you would see the bodies are all sort of intermingled and mixed together, and an Athenian soldier stabs a Spartan and then turns around and gets their head cut off by another Spartan, that sort of thing. They're all normally these sorts of things are all mingled, and that seems to be the case as you get closer to what would be considered the center of the battlefield. But on the more of the outskirts of the battlefield, there looks to be just one color. The way that you've come in from the forest is all the blue of the Athenians, and then if you were to look over past where the center is to where the Spartans have come up, it all looks red. Now, some people might think that's a case of, oh, well, this was the ranged people. This is where the archers would fire their arrows from. But all of these people, none of these people have got arrows, bows and arrows on them, at least on the Athenian side. They've all got swords, shields, and spears, and they've all got wounds or have died through wounds that have been caused by swords, shields, and spears. With how high your investigation check was, you can tell that they were fighting each other and killing each other, basically.
Other than in the way that you would expect them to be fighting each other and killing each other. You mean the Athenians were fighting the Athenians?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry, you had the fight happening, seemed to be happening in the middle between the Athenians and the Spartans, but then there also seemed to be two other battles going on: the Athenians versus the Athenians and the Spartans versus the Spartans.
This isn't right. There's not enough arrows for all these dead.
I think now she said that, I'm also now sort of like taking it and going, they're not dying in the right places. They're more dead. You would think it would be more around the center if they were clashing.
They should be mixed. We should hurry up and get out of here. I don't like it here.
This is not a good place.
That bangle that I spotted, did it look particularly fancy or valuable?
It did, yes.
I'll grab that.
Yeah, you grab that. It's very finely crafted bangle, golden bangle with what looks to be red rubies in it.
Oh, heckins.
Mm.
We'll take that.
It is in the shape of a griffin.
Interesting. Okay. That's definitely not going to come back and bite me in the ass. That's fine. It's fine. Goes in the pack.
Have you announced that bangle, or am I still looking at the sea? Well, looking at the battlefield now.
No, I think it's just as she's saying, like, we need to get out of here now. She'll just grab it and kind of like, so if you have turned around to respond to that, you'll see it. She's not trying to hide it, but she's not going to shout about it.
It's just worth knowing. It's like we know what our job is here, and it's he's also sort of picking up like rocks, and we're like, no, that's not a good rock. He uses a sling, folks. He's not just into rocks.
Pick up a rock and one says, fuck you on it.
And actually, he's like, yeah, okay, yes. Folks, when I did some research, I found out that the Grecian fighters would carve rude things into rocks, and that's what Ellie's doing. He draws like rude pictures on rocks and then throws them at people with a sling. You know, it's good, wholesome warfare. He wasn't a soldier boy until a few months ago, and now all this, it's all big and exciting.
You've got to find a way to still be a writer even at war.
Absolutely, you know, sort of. You need tiny little poems written on a rock. Mostly about people's parents. It's very. Anyway, we should probably, you know, get out here.
The ridge?
The ridge.
Yeah. You make your way over to the ridge, and in order for you to get up there, you're going to have to, because there's a lot of, what are they called? Sort of spike traps sort of thing, fortifications that have been put around to sort of defend this area. And what it looks like is someone has taken the bodies of some of the dead and started throwing them onto those battlements in order to sort of either blunt, snap, or just cover them so that they can then climb up. So as you begin sort of, if you do decide to try and climb up, you will find that you'll come across 2 or 3 bodies that are pierced onto one particular spike, but it's done in a way so that you can get up to the top. Basically use their dead to climb up.
Just as we're scrambling up, do you think they had their minds altered by magic or something? Do you think that might be why they were attacking each other?
Some sort of controlling spell, possibly. A madness sent by the gods to turn against each other. Maybe one of the generals didn't do their sacrifices or upset someone. I mean, right. Those bodies that we're currently clambering on, you know, someone, if I didn't know better, that looks like they charged onto it or being thrown. Or it's not natural.
I mean, if the bodies were out of the way, I guess we could see if there's anything about the land, but we'll carry on.
Yep. You both climb up to the top. Can I get wisdom saving throws from both of you, please?
Oh no.
That's not good when your players say, oh no, to a wisdom saving throw.
14.
Nat 1 for a 2.
Hold on. Is it just an ability check? Hello, folks. I've
got heroic inspiration.
You've got heroic inspiration.
Can I do it for saving throws? Okay. Whew.
It's another nat 1.
Okay. No, that's a 13 for a 14.
Oh, 2 14s. As you're both climbing the bodies to get up to this ridge, both of you could have sworn at some point in 2 different areas. One of you looks to the left, the other one looks to the right. But one of you both could have sworn that you saw something move within the pile. And then you get to the top.
Rats?
Rats, yeah, no.
No, you were going to say something else, what?
No. I just, rats.
What did you think it was going to be? No, you're holding out on me, come on.
I thought I saw an eye open and... That's not...
Worms?
No. Yeah. Fig, it's weird that, you know, this battle was days ago and there's not carrion, there's not but the birds, like even the sea creatures,
that's
would
right.
have stuttered.
No crabs, no birds.
This isn't right. Not just like in a war is bad kind of deal, but this isn't holy.
No. The seal. The general seal.
The seal. I quietly...
We'll get out of here as quick as we can.
Yeah. I reach for my lyre and very quietly just play, and under my voice, like I'm like, don't be scared, don't be frightened, everything will be well. I'm giving you bardic inspiration. So
Thank you.
So that means for the next hour, if you fail a D20 test, you can add a D6.
Oh, if I fail it. So I get to know if I fail it.
Yeah, which hey, thanks to 24 rules. I think that's much better. Where you just like,
cool.
Yeah.
It's know beforehand. As you both continue, as you both get to the top of this pile and begin making your way onto the ridge to look for the general and his emblem to signify his position, could you both please roll me investigation checks to find the general's body, please?
Sure. Gonna cast guidance on myself. I think Figure's starting to get freaked out and wants to get out of here as soon as possible, so it's just gonna sort of squeeze her spear a little tighter. Athena, guide me. Great. So that's 14 on the +1, so it's 15.
15 on awesome.
My investigation was 16, so...
Cool. So between the pair of you, you are able to find the general of the Athenian army. You're also able to find what looks to be either the general or the second in command of the Spartan army. It looks like the pair of them had been locked in combat. With the investigation check that you've rolled, they didn't die fighting each other. The way that their bodies are laying on the ground, it looks like they died back to back, fighting off what was attacking them, which looks to be the other soldiers that are around them.
Mutiny?
Mutiny? Yeah, do you think they betrayed the others? I don't recognise the general.
No.
So just double check. Cool.
I think from what's happening that I think Fig knows me well enough where I'm like, cool, magic's going on here. Mutiny is safer if we think that, you know...
It doesn't matter. It's not. We've not been sent here to investigate.
It's not our problem. Yeah.
No.
Cool.
We don't need to know why. We don't need to figure it out. We just need to get the sigil and leave.
Yep, simple as. Just if we hear something that... Have you ever met a griffin?
No. You?
No, I don't think so. I've met various things, but let's just get...
I feel like you'd know one if you'd met one.
Well, you know, things can be other... My words are failing me. Yeah,
What's your thing?
It's all been a lie.
I'm really scared.
Me too. Let's get this and leave.
Let's go.
You can go over to the Athenian general's body, and you are able to find his sigil, which is a circle sort of medallion that sort of connected his cloak to his armor, sort of thing, and it's got a purple inlay in it to symbolize Athena. So you grab that and pull that off. You could also grab the one that's on the lieutenant of the Spartans as well. His one doesn't look as regal as the Athenian one, so it symbolizes that he is definitely like a second in command and not another general.
I mean,
Sure. If it's easily grabbable, why not?
Yeah. You know, we can trade it for something.
Yeah, you grab that as well, and that has sort of a red inlay to it as well, with sort of Spartan-esque sigils and everything like that.
So, probably.
Yeah, as you grab both of those, you begin to hear a noise coming from behind you.
Nope.
This strange groaning and moaning noise and the cracking of bones as you turn, and you can see that some of the bodies, which were had been dead a lot older than other bodies, begin to get up with this strange green ethereal green magic pouring out of their eyes like mist, and out of their mouths as they get up and they begin shambling towards you with their weapons in their hands.
Ever heard of rats being able to puppeteer dead bodies?
Not in the stories I know. Go,
Leave, let's go.
back to Hades. Leave. Go. I'm like, I think she has to kind of drag me away. I'm like, shoot.
Come on.
Let's go.
Just gonna grab you and try and go down the ledge.
So you have an option here because you've gone up onto the ridge. You can either jump down onto the battlefield over the battlements, or you can try and push past these creatures and
they're
go
in the
down
way.
They're in the way.
Oh.
I mean,
Do you trust me?
yes.
Grabbed her up. I mean, she's not strong, so
Yeah.
you would have to opt to come with
Yeah.
her.
No, I'm not contesting it.
We'll jump.
Awesome. Can you both make me either an acrobatics or an athletics check to see how far you jump and if you get caught by the battlements at all?
Guidance. Oh, I can only do it on me.
That's
Guidance on Ellie.
thank you.
Yeah.
You've got bardic inspiration if this doesn't work.
I don't think it's going to help.
What did you roll?
5.
Nat 20 for 22. Can I let her land on me or something to cushion the blow? Because
Okay, yeah, I'll allow that, yeah. So you would take half of this damage, but you'll take the full damage from it the same in order to allow Fig to take half damage.
sure. I mean, she's wearing armor and has a shield, and I'm just a bard.
This seems fine.
So one of the rules that we have changed in this version of our D&D game is all of the players and NPCs and everything have got a slightly lower hit point pool. Instead of getting a hit dice every level, they just get their constitution score. At the minute, the character's level 1, so the hit points are as they should be as level 1 characters. With this lower life threshold that there is, that means that some of the other rules need to change slightly to not kill them outright. Like, say, jumping 10 foot off of a ledge. So instead of it being a D6 per 10 feet, it is a D4 per 10 feet. Because I don't want to kill the player straight away. So for Fig, you are going to take 1 point of damage from the fall. For Ellie, you're going to take 3 points as you block, sort of cushion the blow. And it's the damage that you take is less from how you land, because you land on a plethora of squishy bodies. It's more that you don't quite get the full jump and you sort of scrape an arm or catch your leg on a piece of battlement as you go down. You don't pierce yourself on it, which is probably a good thing, but you are able to squish into the bodies.
So what did you do that for?
I don't know. You're the hero. You're the one that...
You're important too.
I'm forgotten. Let's go.
You are not forgotten. I know who you are. Can't bloody forget you.
Intense looks to the sea. Oh, and then we're moving on.
You just as
You could shut up as well.
more of these undead creatures begin to get up. I'm going to need everybody to roll me initiative.
Yeah.
Must we?
Okay.
Oh. Ooh. Ooh, oh, ooh.
Ooh, just making little noises on the battlefield today.
Honk, honk.
Oh, there's a truck. Is that what griffins sound like?
Why is there a goose?
Oh, a horrible goose.
Oh, it's a goose.
We said there were no birds.
Just one goose.
It's got a knife.
It's got...
It's a
Coming
chicken
for
with a
the
knife.
stack of daggers that we've got.
Okay,
Canonically in that world, that goose chased Margaret Thatcher out of number 10. That is the law of that game. A horrible goose chased the Conservatives out.
what did Fig roll for initiative, please?
A 22.
What did Ellie roll?
7.
Oh, no.
My leg hurts.
Would it be more advantageous for you to go first?
What an interesting question. Possibly. What are
Yeah?
you thinking? Yeah. Yes, I've got an idea that might be able to clear us a bit of space, and so we can
Okay.
both.
Sure, I just need to double check that it's not going to... Is it going to use... no, it's not using an action or reaction or anything like that. So just as we land, obviously she has a go at you, and as you start staring out the sea, she kind of just like grabs your shoulders and shoves you in the direction of escape, get off the battlefield, go!
Ah.
And we'll sort of turn to sort of defend a little bit.
So you turn to defend and point Ellie in the right direction as you both begin making your way through the bodies. Now, instead of being careful like you were previously, you're trying to get the F out of here. So you're basically just running, which means you're not sinking into the mud as quickly because you're not trying to avoid weapons and breaking other things and all that sort of stuff. So, but you do make headway running. You can watch as these undead begin getting up and start shambling their way towards you. Some of them trip over other bodies while others begin sprinting towards you. But the pair of you are quick enough to get towards where the edge of the battlefield is before 3 of these creatures move around. Two of them have got swords in their hands and one of them has got a spear. These aren't typical zombies, like mindless zombies. These seem to be dead that can think, and they are going to come in and attack you, but
They're going to come in and think at us.
they're going to think at you. These things are smart, is what I'm trying to say.
Athenian Socratic thought.
Yeah. Fig, it is your turn first.
No, it's not. It's Alpino's because I swapped
You
our
swapped it
initiatives.
around,
We
yes.
did a swapsy doodles.
You did a swappy doodle. I forgot to note that down. That's my fault.
So the one with the spear. So if we're saying like A from the left, like A, B, C.
Mm-hmm.
One with the spear, which position is that?
The one in the spear is in the middle of the other two, so they would be B.
B. Okay, I'm going to point at C and trying something out, and I yell, and I don't think anyone here can understand what I'm saying because it's some kind of like divine language. Basically, I'm casting command and telling them to grovel. Hopefully, if this works, they're just going to lie down and we can kind of skirt. Okay, B might be able to attack us, but we can skirt around.
When you say divine language, do you reckon it's Olympian?
Yes. Yeah, no, I think from things that I've been taught where you turn out, you're like, I've got some funny words, and people are like, oh my god, the language of the gods. And you're like, oh.
Do I need to
Cool.
cover my ears?
Um,
Is this suddenly very loud?
I think that's the sort of thing, like, it's for the, like, if we're thinking this is television, people would be like, you see Fig going, ow, in the background, as, it's sort of, I will say, like, there's also not, it doesn't do psychic damage, but it's that sort of thing of, like, going, oh, that's, it's like Eldritch Horror, it's like, oh, that's not Greek. It's all Greek to me, but that's not.
Yeah, it's not something that mortal ears should really hear or
No.
say, as a little bit of blood trickles out of your ear as you say it. But
My ear. Oh,
doesn't
God.
out of your ear, but it doesn't deal
Oh.
any damage to you.
Thanks, guys.
That doesn't look good.
It's not, but it's better than being stabbed. Can Sea Zombie please make a wisdom saving throw?
Sea Zombie certainly can. Sea Zombie's not very good at this. I mean, to be fair, none of zombies are very good at this, although I did roll a 15 for a 13.
I'm going to use a luck point.
To
Can you
give
roll
me
that
disadvantage.
with disadvantage, yeah.
That's an 8 or a 6.
Sea Zombie... Like, if a god suddenly appeared and yelled, grovel. I think even this undead creature is like, oh god, oh no, someone's mad at me. And there is just sort of like a slight flash to Ellie of sort of like the feel of like travel and the road and trickery, and then it suddenly goes, and then he's like, I'm like, yeah, well then let's go. So I think that's the thing, that I can probably, how far away is the zombie?
The one that you've made grovel, or all
Yeah.
of them? The one that you've made grovel is within 20 feet of you. The other two are within 25 feet of you.
Okay, so if we were running, that's the problem. I've given us some distance, but we could walk over the zombie, but then the others could probably get an attack of opportunity. But
Can we not just go around the side?
I'm going to try and skirt round C.
Yeah, you can just get around the side. You got 30 foot of movement, so you would sort of go around C, sort of have C in between yourselves and A and B. That's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Just the horror as I'm running, as these things slowly turn to look at us. We're like, nope, 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 nope. Yeah. So that is my action. Bonus action. Anything interesting? Nope. That would just be bardic. You haven't used your bardic yet, have you?
No.
Cool. Yep. Keep. Yes. Josh, in home rules, you said that we could use an action as a bonus action, a certain action.
You can use because of how squishy you are.
Yeah.
For one of the homebrew rules is that you can use dodge as a bonus action, or a reaction on one attack.
I will. So if I think I'll keep my reaction and dodge in my pocket in case these things try and stab at me.
Get another dice out
Mushroom.
Why?
for
What's that
disadvantage.
for?
Disadvantage.
Oh, right, okay, fine.
Oh, how pleasant. Oh, actually, a nice thing for a pass.
As it gets to zombie or undead A's turn, they were within 25 feet of you. You've moved 30 feet around towards, but sort of trying to circle around where C was. So you are about 10 feet away from where C is. So they're 35 feet away from the others. So A and B, because they both get to go at the same time, are going to charge forward, and you watch as B, who's got the spear, is just almost like a javelin, sort of does the whole Olympic and then lobs the javelin towards. I'm going to roll a d4. Sure.
If only I had
that-
stolen a shield.
That it is an Athenian soldier who sees a soldier wielding a Spartan shield, so the attack is going to go towards Fig.
Figgy.
Good.
I rolled not very high. That is a 2 for a 5.
That will not hit.
Now, would you like to block with the shield, or would you like to just go whoop out of the way of it?
I think this is it's probably a little mixture of both. Like, a shield is a good defense, but a better defense is not being there in the first place. So we'll move out of the way, but holding the shield up, so it probably just kind of like prangs off the curve of it.
Would you say you're well versed in combat?
Middlingly so.
More than
The
me.
theory.
The
Rather
theory
than
of
the
combat.
practice.
So there's a theory that you've heard, been taught, rumor that you've heard, that when a projectile is fired or thrown at you, as you said, it's better for you to not be there. So dodging is the better option, but if you can't, then block it. But there is a thing amongst the soldiers where you can use both in tandem and cause the projectile, especially if it's a weapon that the person that threw it needs to pick up to use again, you can deflect it in such a way that causes it to travel further away than what it would initially. So as you sort of dodge and pull the shield up, you tilt it at a very slight angle, which causes the butt of the spear to hit it, and then it just sails off in a completely different direction. It is going to be that undead is not going to be able to go grab that spear and then fight you.
First rule of spear combat. You throw your spear, you don't have a spear.
Good to know.
The other one is within, needs to continue moving in order to get to you. So it's going to use its other action to basically try and block your path, and it's going to be standing there ready to fight you. It is within 5 feet of you now, Ellie, but can't attack. It now moves to Fig's turn.
Gonna charge as quickly as she can across the battlefield, and it's going to be an attempt at, like I said before, she's not physically strong, and she's also not she's got the theory, but so she's basically looking to unbalance the one that's got close to Ellie, and I think what she's going to do is try to run up and jump off C, which is groveling. So it's not quite as flashy as the full Achilles dive, but it's in that vein. She's seen someone else do it before, and it looked cool.
Who was told that's what Achilles did at Troy? And
Yeah.
you're like, yeah. It's like wrestling, where you're like, yeah, I can do these moves.
Yeah.
Make me an attack, roll, please.
Yes. I should actually roll the die. Oh no! But as she starts running, sorry, before she starts running, she passes her hand across the haft of the spear. Athena, guide my hand, and then it starts glowing. You start to see purple. It's almost like a prayer has been carved into the haft of the spear, and the sigils just sort of glow purple a little bit as her hand passes, and then it turns back to looking like a normal spear. So I have cast Shillelagh upon this spear, for I can do that now.
We're just normal people.
Just normal people.
Yeah, just normal Greek heroes.
Yeah.
Well, hero's such a strong word.
Heroes?
Yeah. In the traditional sense of hero being someone who's good at something. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let's take that. Yeah.
That's a 16 to hit.
16 will definitely hit. Roll me some of that Damaggio, please.
Great. So that's going to be 11 Damaggio
Aye.
of the piercing variety.
As you pierce into the neck of this zombie undead, that is trying to fight, is basically blocking the path of Ellie, you sort of jump over the groveling form of the other one and bring that spear down. It goes right through that soft, squishy part of the neck, pierces through the other side as you land next to Ellie. 11 is their hit points exactly, using the lower hit point rule also applies to NPCs. However, they do have undead fortitude still, so will it still survive this? So it is a DC of 16, Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, come on.
That's a 20, not natural. So
Sure.
as it
Fine.
sort of they have a really high con for some reason. But yeah, as the spear embeds down and the head lulls as you've cut the tendons and pierced the neck bone, its eyes roll in the back of its head and then almost 360 come back round with that green mist coming out of them still, and blood sporing out of its mouth as it tries to move down the spear to bite at you, but you can push it off the spear if you want to.
That's not how this works.
Stay down.
Stay down.
She'll use she'll hold on the spear, use her foot to kind of try and lever the zombie off backwards, but it is mostly just concerned with Ellie, keep running.
Okay.
That then makes it at the end of your turn, unless there's anything else you'd like to do.
Action bonus, action movement.
Awesome. That makes it Undead C's turn, the groveling one. Now, do they get to make another save at the end of their turn, or is it something that lasts for a certain amount of time?
That is a good question. It must follow the command on its next turn. So, actually, maybe that's the thing. It should have been groveling now.
It's technically its official turn now. So even though we had it groveling beforehand, it's technically doing it right now. So it will continue to do that.
I think it's because it's on its next turn, so that would take its turn to do it. So
snap
it's
out
like
of it,
one.
sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the
That
end
works
of
for us because we jumped over them.
So it's almost like the jumping or using it as a springboard sort of snaps it out of its command, and it shakes its head and begins to look around, sees that both of you aren't in the position where you were originally, and turns its head and notices that you're both sort of within 10 feet of it, but hasn't got a turn to actually do anything. So we move back to the top of the round, and it's Ellie's turn.
Okay, so
There is a chomping zombie going, "Han, han," right in front of you. But it looks very weak.
The way this is working is I'm running past, I'm going to stab it with a dagger, not a special dagger or anything. I'm willing to leave this dagger behind. It's one of the ones I've grabbed from the battlefield, and then just keep going. If it's distracted and dead, great. If not, I guess it will try and bite me. I do a daggery attack, which is...
Yeah, dagger attack. Dagger.
It's a 5. So I'm just like...
As you sort of turn to go and slice into it, your dagger, it's obviously you're not a very trained combatant.
I haven't fought from 2 months ago.
Yeah, and it's almost instinct for you to sort of turn around, or it's like a rash instinct for you to turn around and try and strike. And as you do, thinking, oh yes, I could hit it right in the back of the head, its head moves slightly as Fig is trying to pull the spear out, and your blade chings off of the spear part of the.
Look before you stab.
Yeah. Good life advice, thank you.
As the spear pops out of the undead's neck. Is that everything on your turn?
I think I will use my bonus action dodge to get around this thing and hopefully make for better ground.
Yep. So it is. This undead is very focused on Fig at the moment and isn't paying much attention to you. So you're able to move around it without taking an opportunity attack, but you do prepare yourself for if any of the other two decide to lunge at you.
I kind of, probably to Fig's annoyance, stop to prepare to be like, I'm not leaving her behind. You know,
that is not running. What did I just say?
It's. I don't want you to get bitten.
I don't want that either. I don't want you to get bitten.
All those fancy robes. It is Undead A's turn. This is the one that is sort of gargling on its own blood, and it's going to attempt to make a sword attack against you, Fig.
Can it do it with disadvantage, please? Because I attacked it with my spear, of which I have mastery, so I have sapped it.
Consider yourself sapped.
He definitely sapped it. With disadvantage, well, I rolled a 6 and a 2, so that's going to be a 5 to hit you, which does not.
Praise Athena.
Thanks, Athena. You're the real G.
An owl on the tree's like, got ya.
And tries to attack you and doesn't. That makes it B's turn. B, who threw the spear at you, basically took a 10-step forward to do that and is going to turn and begin running in the direction of where you are. It needs to run out slightly further than what the others did because it was focused on you, who was in a different position to where you are now. It gets within range to attack you, doesn't have any weapons on it except for a shield, so it's going to try and slam into you with it.
Great.
That was almost a 15, but I rolled a 7 for a 10.
Can I flavour that Fig just sees it coming, and sort of because Zombie A is still sort of not fully off the spear, is still a little bit attached. All she's done is kind of sidestep round, so the Zombie A ends up clashing with it instead.
Yeah, let me just roll
They
two
kind of...
checks. Jeez, I need to change these dice. I just rolled a 6 and a 3. They smash into each other and both fall on the floor.
Yeah.
They are both prone.
Tactical warfare.
Yeah, at the end of its turn, it is Fig's turn, as you've sort of moved and done that. I say that would have been your reaction to do that, but it's now your turn, so your reaction is back.
Cool. Okay. These zombies look like they are fast-moving zombies, by which I mean regular speed-moving zombies, not shambly slow zombies, right?
Yeah, regular speed. They look like they've got a little bit of intelligence behind their eyes, so
we can't outrun them.
You could, because it's laying on the floor, two of them are on the floor at the minute, and the other one's turned around and sort of spotted you. The other thing as well is that there is more of them getting up on the battlefield. These aren't the ones that you sort of awoke on the ridge. Those ones have just fallen off of the ridge and are now beginning to get up and walk towards you as more bodies across the battlefield are beginning to get up. And actually, I'm going to ask both of you to roll me a perception check, please.
10.
Dirty 20.
10.
Oh, actually, I will use my bardic inspiration for this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Smart.
14.
So with the 14, you can see that the two generals, the general and the lieutenant, begin to also get up, as do pressure corpses. So there's a lot more undead here than what was probably originally here.
It's
With
catching.
with the dirty 20, there's a piece of woodland that is behind where the ridge is that you could have ran into if there was space and time for you to do so. As you're looking at that, Ellie, you watch as a hooded figure wearing black robes, feminine in appearance, steps out with a strange wand-like staff in her hand. It's not quite long enough to be a staff, but it's also not small enough to be a wand. It's sort of like a half and half. A rod. There we go.
Okay.
A rod made out of wood with a gnarly hand for the top bit, with a strange green glow coming out of it that is almost like a mist that is billowing out and moving across the bodies, that is causing them to animate and jerk and start to get up. The hooded figure, you can see that there's white hair that is coming out from under the hood, but the face itself is completely covered. There are parts of their skin that is visible, like they're wearing robes, but they haven't got sleeves, and their skin is bone white with red and black markings on their arms.
Like tattoos or like scars?
Like blood has been painted on them.
Oh no.
Or red paint, depending on...
It's just some
fine.
strawberry jam.
It could be red and black paint, or it could be blood and ichor. You don't know.
Oh,
Why be judgmental of ladies in the woods in black cloaks covered in blood? That's so presumptuous of everyone, honestly.
Honestly, she's not looking at. She's like looking at the battlefield, right? She's not like done this sort of like, oh look, humans.
Yeah, she seems to be focused more on raising the dead.
Of course. If we're not heading to the woods, where are we going? Where are we hoping to escape to?
Well, so in terms of the entire battlefield itself, there are woods pretty much all around except for where the beach is. Where she's just come from is up on top of the ridge. There was a wooded area
Right.
behind there. You've jumped off of that and you've ran to the other edge of the battlefield where you first entered, which leads you into a different section of the woods.
Right. Okay.
So there's like a good 100, maybe 120 feet between you and her.
So it's that I'm
Maybe
sort of
more.
looking up. She's on the ridge holding the thing.
Holding
and
this
I'm just
rod,
like,
yeah. But it's
the
just
rod.
oozing out this green mist.
As women have the right to do, as established. Don't judge.
We support women's wrongs.
That's going to become very useful if we run into any other sort of sorceresses. You're like, hey, we're not judging. We know it's hard out there for you ladies.
You do you, girl.
Fist bump. She's like, I will turn you into an animal. Fair, very, very fair. Okay, having clocked this season's big bad, I'm just being like, oh dear. Or actually, for podcast, actually, there's no podcast.
All legitimate businesswoman.
Yeah. She is using the tools the gods have given her, and in this case, it's raising the
She's on a
dead.
recruitment drive, it's fine.
Yeah.
And actually, she's united the Spartans and the Athenians into a new army.
Fixed it.
Yeah. Thanks. Oh, does she get a thanks? No, she does not. She gets me being
No.
rude. Okay, having We clocked that. I also think it's Fig's turn, so...
It is Fig's turn, yes.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think at this point, if they're both on the floor and we think we can escape them by running, then I think that might be the call. I think that's withdraw the spear. Might go for a sort of a... They're both stumbled. Why bother trying to double tap? Just gonna use the use bonus action, dodge and scoot.
Yep. So you scoot away. They are both going to attempt to make attacks at you because even though they were knocked on the floor, they were both within range of you. Again, with disadvantage because they're on the floor. It would be disadvantage. You're also given disadvantage. So I'll give them a minus to it as well, just to.
Also dodging, so it's like
also dodging,
it doesn't
yeah.
stack, but
Yeah.
Which is probably good because I rolled a 16 and a 6, so the first one doesn't hit. And then an 18 and a 2, so the second one doesn't hit. As they just sort of go at you, but you like whoop, nope, just run.
No, thank you.
so polite.
However, Undead C, who is not on the floor and has kind of looked towards where you are,
I mean, they were on the floor.
They are
were
groveling, yes. So they are going, but they're not entangled with another one of themselves. So they are going to get up and they are going to begin running towards you. But because they've only got half movement, they're not going to get within range to do any attacks. But Fig, you just get into the tree line as it gets to where these turn.
Is C still carrying their sword? They didn't. I know. So they're running with a sword. I know because I didn't ask them to drop. Did they? When they lay down? Okay. So
Yeah. They've still got their sword in their hand, yeah.
Hey, folks. I know I'm not the sword master here, but don't run with a sword. That's not smart moves.
Not wise.
Cool. So I think. So I'm seeing Fig being pursued by C. A and B are kind of tangled up. That we can. I just point over Fig's shoulder and shout. I shout a rude word again.
Thomas.
I'm sorry. I know I try and portray myself as a polite young man. Please don't tell your mother.
Really, I'm a rapscallion.
A rude.
A rude boy brought up terribly. Basically, again, let's not. People, you can imagine what rude word I probably shouted, and whatever you decide shows your politeness. I might have just told them to leave, but basically, this is my vicious mockery. It involves. I know that's idea. It involves a dog. Do with that what you will.
Wow.
I honestly thought that with this whole, I have a sling, I carve my things into the stone, I thought you were leading up to you fire the sling at people for your vicious mockery, and it says the thing on there. That's what I thought you were leading to.
I think that's the thing that I hold the rock, say the word, and I throw the rock aside. But it's still vicious mockery. So I'm just like flash it. That's the thing. I was like, do I use the sling or do I use? I like the idea that he's panicking and just shouting rude words as he's running. Yeah. Can they make a wisdom saving throw, please?
You have to pick the one thing that they're really bad at. I say that they're really bad at all of those things. That's a 3 for a 1.
As the rude word about the dog fills them, and they remember their own childhood dog and take offence to 2 points of psychic damage.
Owie! And you just watch as they go. Tilt their head.
Rogie?
Rogie.
Oh, woo!
Oh. Blood and earwax begins to pour out of their ears from that. Because, why
Rude.
not?
And it was... We haven't hit... No, this was...
Big's hit the tree
C.
line.
Yes, this is C that's chasing us, right?
C's chasing you. That was the first time C had actually been hit.
Yeah, hit. B's the one who got stabbed in the
No,
head.
A's the one that got. A's the one that got. Yeah.
Again, not to be meta. A's the one that went down, then came back up. So we've got to keep an eye. So
massive hole in their neck at the moment.
I think hitting the tree lines and keeping an eye out for Fig, but trying to make it to I don't know where, deeper into the woods, which is never a good idea when one is panicking to run into the woods. But, I mean, I grew up in woods. They weren't like this. They weren't horrid. They were lovely. There were parties. I'm playing the lyre. Was there ambrosia? Maybe. I don't know.
That's really nice, Ellie. Get in the woods.
As you stand there contemplating your childhood,
Just
army of
watching as
undead
a
is
zombie
rising.
eats me. I'm like, wonder what my mother's up to right now. Stop thinking about your mum and run.
As you both enter into the tree line, all three of the undead get up and they begin chasing after you. But as soon as they get to the tree line, they just stop and just stare at you.
Like they've hit a wall, or just that they gave up?
Not like they hit a wall, but that they just stop right on the edge. Like there's no restraint to them, but it's as if there is a barrier there, but they've not like smacked into it. They just sort of stop and just stare at you.
Do they look scared of the woods, or angry that they can't follow us?
They look angry.
Oh, okay.
How far away can we see? I'm assuming that Ellie actually pointed out the lady in black to yeah. Can we see if anyone else has clocked us or clocked that the zombies had come to follow us this way?
Yeah, you can roll perception checks for me if you like to.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a 15. It was a 5 for an 8.
11.
You can't see. The robed figure is the only living thing you can see, but you can see lots of other bodies beginning to get up, and they begin making their way towards where these other ones are, and it begins to sort of pile up, like
Not worth
legions
investigating.
of them.
Let's leave it.
No, I mean, we probably do need to tell the town that there's the dead.
They should know. Do you think that Sponder knew when he sent us here?
I hope not. We are his best weapons so far. We seem to be one of the few people who actually do what he wants. He wouldn't just send us to her.
No, he wouldn't just send us to...
Do you think we've got the...
You think we're his best weapon?
Who else does what he tells them to do with so little complaint?
That doesn't make us the best, though. That just makes us desperate.
And sometimes that's what men like him need. We are walking at this pace. We're not just watching it. Maybe it's... I mean, they came back when we took stuff from we took the symbols. Maybe they want those. Maybe we should have left those. But...
Do you think she wants this? We'll pull the griffin bangle out. Do you think she looks Spartan?
I mean, she was wearing blood as paint, which seems...
That's very Spartan sounding.
But I slightly sort of rub at my own tattoos. He was like, well, there's all sorts of things out there, deep dark magics that seem to be coming back. Creatures lifted from Hades itself.
I suppose that's the thing, isn't it, right? Why, how have they come back? I suppose usually people would take them, pay the obol, and they don't have them.
Maybe we should have thrown money at them.
What money?
Well, quite. I bend down, pick up a rock, and look at it, throw it away. We should. Well, at least we've got pat my own pack, and then I actually sort of pat her pack as well, and just go. Well, we got these. That's a few days' food, maybe. Get to stay in Taverna, maybe. But...
It'd be nice.
And a bath. But
bath, river. There's got to be a river around here somewhere, though, right?
Yeah, let's go. Did you get hit at all, or?
No, but leg juice.
leg juice. I look down at my boots and I'm just like, oh, at least these held up. Yeah, let's go.
Probably should have cleaned them before you put them on.
Well, I poured water in, but it was the water from then, and they've been under the sun, and
Wait, if we think that... Okay, so some of them were older, they've been dead longer, and then even the general and the sergeant, who definitely looked most recently fresh, dead, they also turned into whatever those things were. So it's catching somehow.
Or
Do you think by putting those boots on you've caught it?
I would. The same swear word comes out of my mouth as I throw the boots.
No,
into...
I don't know how this works. It might not be. They might be fine boots. They might not be.
I'm not.
Boots.
I am putting. These are good sandals. These are solid sandals. If they.
I'm just workshopping
Is everything
ideas.
tainted? Is everything tainted?
Yes.
So we can't sell these.
Oh.
Ow, who's throwing boots around?
Step out. Who is it?
As you hear a cart pull up and a horse go. You know that noise that they do?
Theo.
Theo.
Don't scare us
Oh.
like that.
You do throwing boots at me. All you had to do was say hello.
They're cursed, Theo. It's.
Maybe.
Well, then
Maybe
why,
cursed.
why did I get hit by them? Do I?
I don't
You
know.
cursed Theo now, Ellie.
Theo, go.
Thanks.
Theo, go. Go wash. We all need to wash.
Well, I found a camping spot up there. If you want to go back up there, did everything go
Wait,
okay?
what, that way? Is he pointing towards the bit of the woods where the lady was?
No, he's pointing. He's pointing behind him, which is back up the road. You have, through conversations and walking, have stumbled across a dirt path.
Okay. On the way to Erothos.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, good.
Yeah, I found
You
a.
found a camp.
Yeah, well, it's a little area where we can camp out. It's right next to a river. I was able to water the horse and sort of do a bit of tidying up.
Wait,
in the
no,
cart and
Thea, that
things.
sounds too good to be true. Can I just check? Did you find a clearing where we might camp, or did you find someone else's camp that had been abandoned?
A clearing where we can camp.
Right.
Okay, all right, fine.
Cool. Right.
When we get
Don't
there
take
will
other
be.
people's camps. This area is cursed.
Okay, well, I mean, when we get there will be signs of a camp being there because I was there before. Does that count as somebody else's
No, if
camp?
it's your camp,
No,
it's fine.
yours.
Okay, right. I just wanted to double check. This is all new to me, but yeah.
You're doing-
Theo
you're doing
is
great.
a 15-year-old boy who you met in Erothos, homeless. Took a liking to your group and decided to tag along and has sort of been doing the odds and sods for you and sort of join your little ragtag crew. He leads you both back up to this clearing area.
I'm holding the boots now, having gone into the shrubs to get them.
Yeah. And you can both dip yourself into the river and give yourself a good clean. And from there, make your way back to the town of Erothos if you like. And I think at that point, that is a good place for us to end today's session. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. If you like what you have seen, join us again in 2 weeks for episode 2 of this. And a week after that, you can find us doing a mini talk together on the 2 episodes, which you can find on our Dice Head tier on Patreon. If you'd like to join that, you can by following the description below for as little as 1 of your local currency per month, or 1 undead, which must not be sent to Tom because
I'll take him.
Or 2 cursed pairs of boots. There we go.
No, send the undead to Nat so she can build her undead army.
Yes.
That's the level we're at now.
Nat's
I
secret
need
class
it.
is Necromancer. Anyway, we will see you all next time. Goodbye.